That's not much teaching wise. So I'll get started with this and then we'll continue. So let's prep our foot. Nothing new. Okay, so everything you've done and learned thus far to this point is all of and more basic acrylic. Okay, anything from this point forward is advanced. Most schools don't really go into the advanced stuff, but it's more art. Okay. All right, so nothing new. The only new thing for today is that you're working on covering a nail, which is the toe, that is wider than anything you've done before. So 3 brushes are out so that you can select which brush you want to use on what nail. That's your choice. We are using the white acrylic, and you've already poured out. What I've been noticing is that your acrylic kind of looks yellowish. If it looks yellowish, it's because you're using too much drops. Like, back up a little bit, okay? Less drops. Your acrylic, your monomer should not look yellow. If you look at the nails on the surface, if the nails on the surface of your table that the previous person took off and left on your table, if they look yellowish, it's because they have been using too much of the drops. That's what's making it turn. So back up on the drops a little, okay? Okay. I've not heard any complaints from upstairs next door or the CT office, so that's great. They can smell it when we walk in. When they walk in, that's it. I was watching soap opera last night, sorry. Okay. All right, so take your tape. You're going to cut some pieces of tape. You're going to cover the surface of the nail. Nothing new. It's sticky because we've done this for 2 class periods today. You're going to take a piece of tape. Either prep it and put it at the top of the foot, or prep as you go. Okay? So you're going to take the tape. Tear the tape off. Fold both ends to make a tab. Okay? That way when you're pulling the tape off, you can easily pull the tape off of the foot. You're going to take the tape and you're going to place it over the top of where the cuticle area is, where the aponychium is. Press down with your finger slightly. That does not cover the whole nail because the nail is long. So take a second piece of tape, fold the ends, overlap, place the tape down, take your back of your brush, or you can take your pusher and gently press down and tuck in the tape. Now, don't poke a hole. If you poke a hole, take it off. Don't be lazy. Put a new one on. But outline the cuticle and the side wall where the nail groove is, so you can see distinctly where that upside down U shape is, which is the shape of the nail. Then you can take your finger and you can press down on both sides. Okay? Because the big toe is big, you need 2 pieces of tape. For the rest of the toes, you really just need 1 piece of tape. Make sure that you cover the cuticle area and the mantle, which is past the cuticle area, and then outline the side wall area. The tape is wide enough to cover the tip of the finger or tip of the toe, and then press down to wrap that tape on the sides. You're going to do that to all 5 toes. Now you know that we never have enough time to do a whole set. But today we actually are going to have time to do 5 toenails. Okay. Yes, you can take the tape and do it vertically because it is wide enough. But this is how you protect the plastic of the toe. of the finger, of the foot, of the hand, of your practice, whatever you're using. And or anyone that is allowing you to practice on them, but you know you're not that good yet, and you're afraid it's not going to come out good, but you need the practice, right? And then it's not permanent. You take the tape off, acrylic is gone, a little bit of acetone to get rid of the stickiness, and you're good to go. Okay. If you do not put tape down, this is lash tape. If you do not put tape down, like there's a little piece of acrylic on the baby toe, right? Like I'm trying to pick it off. This is literally how stuck it gets to the skin, to this plastic. If that happens, if you don't have tape and you're going to practice on a mannequin hand, most mannequin hands or mannequin feet, you're able to dip it in acetone, let it melt, get gummy, scrape it off, file it off, and you're good. That takes forever. So that's why we use the tape. If your dad, while he's watching the Super Bowl, lays on the couch, lets you practice on his toes, practice on his toes. Careful he doesn't punch you or kick you in the face because he's excited or upset about who scored the winning touchdown. But if someone lets you practice, let them let you. Don't be afraid. Okay? It's tape. Peel it off, you're good. It's going to be sticky at the bottom. That's why you feel the toes are sticky. But it's just the stickiness of the tape. Okay? When you are practicing and the client has acrylic on the toes or fingers already, you cannot put the tape over it because it will stick, it will seep through. This is only for someone that doesn't have acrylic on the natural nail, or for the mannequin that doesn't have acrylic. Tried it, it's a hit or miss, it works, sometimes it gets stuck, it doesn't work over acrylic. Okay? Alright, so we have all 5 toes. We're done with the tool and we're done with the tape. I'm going to start you with the pinky. Bless you, the pinky. Your challenge today, bless you, is going to be the big toe because you've never done that big of an application before. Know that I'm super proud of you and everything you've learned thus far. You know how to pour your product out. You know how to take care of your tools. You know how to use your tools. You know how to pick up beads, how to lay beads down. You know how to blend them. You know how to apply the beads. You know to start from the top, work your way to the bottom, or vice versa. You know how to prep the nail. You know how to file an order from top to bottom, left to right. You know how to make adjustments. You know how to recognize what has been done wrong and how to fix it. You know how to fix things. Are you amazing at it? Not yet. Babies don't get popped out and start running around the room. That would be crazy. Scary, right? You have to fall a lot of times. Don't be afraid to fall because that is how you learn the best. Okay? So, just want to share with you. Super proud of you. Okay? Keep going. Keep practicing. Alright, so whatever brush you choose to use is your choice. That's fine. Season your brush, dip it in, season it, roll it around in your monomer, wipe to a point. Mine is from Monday, I think, or whenever, last Tuesday or Friday. So mine is, the color's off. That's why it's old. Okay. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and we're going to come in. We're going to pick up a bead, whether it's the dip tap or dip drag method. Analyze to see how big of a bead you want to pick up. Remember, there's no acrylic at the top of the brush. You're going to hold, you're going to look. You're going to look and you're going to look at it. You're allowing those molecules to fuse together. Once they fuse together, you're going to drop that bead off close but not on the cuticle. And wipe your brush to a point on the napkin. Hold the foot downward because gravity is going to help pull that bead down. You're going to take your brush at a 45-degree angle and you're going to spread that bead to the right and to the left using a 45-degree angle, creating a perfect cuticle area smile line. Making sure you are creating a ramp and you are not creating a bump. Once you created your cuticle area and you are happy with it, You are then going to tap, tap, tap the rest of the beads sideways, downwards. Remember, you don't want the little muffin tops on the side, so tap the sides in and then tap the tip in. Toes are not as flexible as hands, so just be mindful of your movements and how you're holding your brush. Look at the foot from the side. Look at the foot like it's going to poke you in the eyeball. If it's not smooth, even rounded, as you're looking at it like it's going to poke you in the eyeball, fix it. If the cuticle area is crazy looking, fix it. If the sides are blotchy looking, fix it. Fix it before it gets hard. Because if you let it get hard, your mistakes will haunt you later. Okay? Look at it from the side, look at it from the tippy tip, look at it from the bird's eye view. Remember that the acrylic is self-leveling. It will continue to move until it fully hardens. Okay? Should be round at the top. It should mimic the cuticle area. The sides should be parallel like a train track. And the tip is a squarish type of a shape. Now, if you wanted to do round, that's perfectly fine. Not a problem. Okay? Look at the thickness. You're not going all the way to the edge of the tape. You're going to the edge of the nail bed. It's an overlay. Okay. Toes, they're very easy to get done quickly because they're teeny tiny. So once you're ready, continue and keep working towards the big toe. Switch your brush size as you see fit. Keep going. Randomly pause. Look at the toes like they're going to poke you in the eyeball. And look for consistency. Is the thickness from pinky to toe even? Is it too thin and she's going to kick a ball and they're going to crack because they're so thin? Or do you got chiclet nails? I bought Canales chiclets. They're in the back of my trunk. I'll need to give them to you tomorrow so you can see what I'm talking about, what the chiclet nails look like. But look at your foot from all angles. Look at the nail from all angles. Now, granted, on the actual person, you can't like flip the foot around, however, but you can rotate your chair and you can kind of lean over and put your head down and look from different angles. Once you're done with the pinky, you're going to keep working to the toe. Up until this point, you've learned every basic thing. You can perfect what you know to this point. It just takes time, patience, and it takes a lot of mistakes. You have to make the mistakes so you can recognize what went wrong, be able to fix it, and next time know not to do it. If you never make a mistake, you're never going to learn anything. So please don't be afraid to make that mistake. And this is a safe learning environment for that to happen. Okay? I'd rather be the one to tell you XYZ needs to be fixed than a client yelling at you, blasting you on social media, saying you don't know what you're doing. So when someone lets you practice, let them practice. For salon day, if you're going to come for salon day and you're going to practice on each other, fabulous. Okay? All right, so that's that. That's all I have for you for today as far as the teaching on the practical part. Keep working. Here's the other thing we're going to talk about today. Is the conversation between you and your client and the focus. Okay? You need to be able to hold a conversation with your client, listen to what they're talking about and understand what they're saying, and remember it, because next time they come in, you got to ask them, follow up on how's the divorce, how's the baby, how did you like the painting of your house, how's the vacation, whatever. You have to genuinely seem interested so you can build that relationship, so they like you, so they come back, and you have to stay focused. At the same time, you got to look them in the eyeballs. Right? You gotta make that eye contact so that they know you see them. Now that takes some concentration to do all of that while you're trying to put a nail on their little tater-tot toe that don't have no nail. Right? Like how do you do that? One thing I failed to mention is that yes, you can use nail forms on toes. Can I take a nail form and cut it to customize because she's got a little tater-tot and there's like hardly any nail on there? Yes, you can. Difficult, but you can. Is that customized? Yes. Can you charge more? 100%. Okay. That I know of, and I'm going to look because I had not looked to this point since a good while back. I don't know that they sell forms for toes. I'm going to look, and if they do, I'm going to order them and let you play with it. But that I know of, I had not seen any. But you can cut the forms to customize the width of the toenails. So we're going to do a little exercise. I'm going to come walk around, and I'm going to talk. I'm going to talk to you about salon day, your junior kit fee, and some other things, the drill and stuff. And as I'm talking, your task is to continue working and focusing, but you need to look up at my eyeballs to make that contact randomly. Okay, so that's a skill you need to learn how to do, to make that connection and to stay focused. Allison cannot be doing someone's nails and then she just stops and she's like, oh my gosh, me too. And then she's like talking and she stops working and there's acrylic in the brush and it gets all hard. Like she can't afford to do that because she's already behind. The other client's waiting at the reception area. She's got to leave because she's got to go pick up whoever. Her lunch is cold in the dispenser, right? Like in the break room. She doesn't have time. She's got to multitask. Women are really good at that, by the way. But as a service provider, you got to be able to do those things. So I'm going to pause the recording here, but I'm going to keep going.